We're good to go, everyone.
I should probably switch off the stream so I don't see any.
Yes. Yes.
So when we left off, oh god, everything's on fire!
Uh, well, we don't.
That was a joke, Perry. I don't think we need to summarize anything.
Yeah. Um. So let's see. Where did we leave off?
We had literally just finished killing the Duragars after smiting that thing.
Okay. So yes, you guys have defeated the dragon, defeated the Duragar. Um. So now things are kind of quiet in the city, and everyone looks exhausted. You are mostly healed up, but you're just tired after an extremely long day. Um, the city people are no longer terrified, but they are slowly trying to rebuild things, trying to sort of get rubble off of people trapped underneath. Um, you all look around. What do you do initially after all
Blair's
this?
gonna push himself to kind of try to go over and help move some of the rebel if he can.
Okay. Yeah, you make a strength athletics check as you try to help move the rubble and save some people. Okay, yeah, you're helping. You're sort of shoving stuff out of the way, getting people from out and underneath it, um, and uh, you're doing your part in trying to sort of help people who are in need nearby. What are the rest of you doing?
Let's see. Oh, I forgot about that skill. I'm gonna basically start tending wounds to as many people. Basically, gather them in my aura's down now. Take it. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna manually tend wounds
Okay.
where I
So
can.
yeah, just make a medicine check as you go around
Okay.
to the villagers and just try to like do the best as you can. Oh
Mm.
wow, yeah. So you're doing great. You're like being like a medical doctor over here, just going around trying to like patch people up, healing, doing some light like patchwork. You're like rubbing druidic medicinal herbs and things on people and trying to bandage people's injuries as well. Some folks have broken bones, and you're trying to help them like uh, walk and get to a proper seating area. Okay. At this point, Velen will walk up to you and she will say, "Well, that was a experience, wasn't it?" And she's just dusting herself off.
You're telling us.
Whew. Why don't we why don't we find a place to rest for the evening, and then perhaps we can discuss in the morning some things.
Is anyone going anywhere near the dragon yet, or anyone official looking around at all?
Uh, you do see that there are people sort of gathering around the dragon a little bit. They're just sort of looking at it in awe.
Okay. Kind of satisfied that it's gonna probably stay there for now. Glaire's gonna kind of nod and follow.
Okay. All right. So Velen tells you of a place known as the. Well, let me look it up. I just had it up the other day. Oh, it's called the Uphill Climb. I remembered. It's a
It better
tavern.
be on level ground.
It's not. It's not on level ground. It's an uphill
It's like
climb.
basically the description of the last 24 hours of our lives.
Yes. And as you enter the uphill climb, um, you see the proprietor there is a rugged middle-aged man, and he just sort of is trying to like put the signage back straight on his half destroyed tavern, and he just sort of looks at you and he's like, how can I help you?
In all honesty, a good meal would be like perfect right now.
Yes, food and rest.
And a freaking ale.
Oh,
Second that.
we have everything but the ale.
You're joking, right?
Afraid not. Sorry about that.
I just
Glare
sit down
pulls
in a
out the
chair.
alcohol that we got from the Beauregard's face and kind of looks at it appraisingly.
You do have that.
I like elbow Glare in the shoulder, and I'm like, I will if you will.
Honestly, yeah, I'll try it.
Okay, I pick one of them up too.
Okay, yeah, you smell it.
Start
It's
pouring people.
yeah, you start pouring it out for everybody in the party, and Velen as well. She'll partake if you offer.
Yeah.
But it's like this. It's you smell it, and it smells like a spicy whiskey almost. And Jeff, you actually know of this ale. It's a type of very strong liquor made from fire lichen, which is like a plant in the Underdark. And it's actually quite good. It burns a little though on the way down.
That's probably
Very
good
strong.
for right now.
Yeah, it's
I'm
very
gonna
strong.
sit down and be like, oh, I know what this is. It's gonna give you a good kick, I promise.
Yes.
Honestly, I don't even know if I can taste anything besides blood right now.
Oh, you'll taste this.
Yeah, and as you guys enter this tavern, you do sort of get that like sense of warmth that like is radiating from the like nearby fireplace and everything. So it's a little bit warmer than. Well, it's not just a little bit warmer. It's a lot warmer than it is outside. However, it's not as warm as it would normally be, as a portion of the wall has sort of broken a bit. So there is a bit of a stream of cold air coming in, but you guys are close enough to the fireplace.
Glare takes a thermal cube out of its insulated bag and sets it in front of that so it staves off the cold.
Oh, nice. So you just put the thermal cube in front of it? Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, so now it's back to a pretty normal temperature in here. As if you guys keep away from the thermal cube, then it's mostly fine. Velen takes a shot of the of the Durgar whiskey, and she's like, "Whew. Oh my, well, sad to say that I don't believe this will be the most exciting thing we face up here."
Oh, you're joking, right?
I'm inclined to believe her as I lean back and light up my my pipe.
I mean, that was basically a man-made dragon.
She you watch as her snowy owl familiar just sort of hops off her shoulder and onto the table there, and she says, "My name's Velen Harpel, wizard from the Arcane Brotherhood. I'm sorry, I don't believe I fully got your names just yet."
Glare just downs a shot of the whiskey and just kind of just growls as it kind of hits him.
Oh.
Glare will do for now.
Just Jeff.
And
I'm Relton.
nice to meet you. Oh, nice. Wait. You look familiar. Have we met? She asks you, Xena.
Unless you've been water deep recently, then I don't know.
Curious. Very well. Anyway, I'm a member of the Arcane Brotherhood, and I'm searching for... Well, we can talk business in the morning.
That's probably for the best.
Honestly,
But you said you needed something from us then.
yes, she says, to put it plainly and simply, I need your help finding an ancient city buried underneath the ice. This city is called Ythrin, and it's a lost fragment of what we in the Arcane Brotherhood refer to as the Empire of Netheril.
Well, I know. Will have any of us have heard of that kind of thing?
Make a history check.
Anyone? Actually, I probably wouldn't know about it
I'm
anyway.
not
From the
history,
Feywild.
but I got good
Probably not.
intelligence.
Let's see. I got a +1. Let's try it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you all have you all have heard whispers of this empire of Netheril. The legends don't have a lot of information about them, but they were these wizards from over 1,500 years ago who had magic beyond anything we've ever seen today, like magic beyond our wildest dreams back then. And something happened, some sort of calamity happened back then, and they sort of went extinct and vanished. And no one knows what they did. They had magic that was so powerful, in fact, that it scared the gods themselves.
Yeah, Glare would definitely be interested in that.
Yeah. And
Isn't that place just a myth?
no, it is not, actually. The Arcane Brotherhood believes that it is buried somewhere here. Using divination magic, we've learned that the city is buried somewhere deep inside the Reghead Glacier.
The what?
The Reghead Glacier. I'll paste that into the chat just so you all can see. That's how you spell it.
Reg had the glacier, got it. And how come no one's ever tried to do that before?
Well, we just recently learned of it, for one. But for two, we haven't found out a way to break open the glacier. Some sort of magic seals it. And we must figure out how to get through. And I was hoping that you all would help me. We might even find something in there that would help end this hateful winter.
As soon as she says that, Jeff like leans forward and listens. And it's like, you don't say.
Well, if the legends are true, they basically had power even gods feared, so I don't imagine this Ice Maiden that's causing the winter would be too far off of a god.
Jeff just kind of shoots Glare a look. I say we try it
He
out.
kind of shrugs.
I also learned a few other things that may be of interest to you. I had an orb. It's called the Professor's Orb. But it was stolen from me. Anyway, I learned some things about this Empire of Netheril before it was stolen from me. So far, what I know is that these Netherese wizards, everything they learned initially came from the elves. And the rest that they learned came from a study of artifacts known as the Nether Scrolls.
Oh, that's not intimidating sounding at all.
I know. And to make things even more unbelievable, the magic that they created was even more powerful than that of a wish spell.
Oh shit.
Oh, wow.
All sounds too good to be true.
And some say that their magic could even shear off the tops of mountains and lift entire cities into the sky.
Well,
Amazing, right?
I'm in if you guys are in.
Let's hear more about this in the morning. I could really use some sleep and some time to fix my armor. You know, because that's the only thing. I'm fine otherwise.
I mean, I'm pretty worn out myself, so I'm okay with this.
Okay. Alright, so you all,
If everyone's getting up, Glaire's gonna kind of stop Xena from getting up and pour her another shot of the whiskey and kind of let everyone else leave.
Okay.
Thank
if
you.
they do.
I want to get up to go back to my bedroom.
Nah, Glaive's gonna try to stop you if he can, like, kind of, like, grab your wrist and kind of just, like, look at you for a second, kind of, like,
Okay.
indicate to sit back down.
Okay.
Is everyone else still... What is everyone else doing before he does?
I stand up and like I pause and look back for a moment when you grab a wrist, but then
He just shakes his head at you.
I just kind of nod and then I just go up the stairs.
Robin goes up up the stairs as well to
Retire.
yeah.
Okay.
While saying good evening, I'm going to everyone saying,
Okay.
"Wow, you speaking goodly."
So as he pours a shot, he's gonna kind of look over her and see how she's looking. You know, you're definitely getting stronger, it seems.
Yeah, it's been a really tough year, but I think I learned a lot about myself. I'm grateful for that.
Just a little bit worried. There's definitely some, you know... Okay, look, I'm not really good at this. We both know that, so I just want to make sure. Are you okay? Is there anything you need to tell me?
No, it's just life's been rough. You just gotta be tough,
There's being tough, and then there's just taking it out on other people. And believe me, I'm definitely one who knows about that kind of thing. So, it just... I guess I'm a little bit worried, because it almost looked like you were enjoying hurting people there.
I think I just have a lot of built up anger, What's happened. It's probably just, timing. Everything domino effect, it all came at once. One thing after another. I mean, I'm sure everybody's allowed to have hard times.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess, hell. My father was probably better at this than I am, for one thing. Look, if you need anything, just let me know. If you need someone to beat on, Father's proved that I'm a pretty good testing dummy for training, so if you need a sparring partner, just let me know. And, Glare kind of looks over to the side for a sec, pulls out a little trinket, and just kind of starts fiddling with it for a couple seconds and whispers into it, and then just places it on the table in front of Xena, and stands up and downs the rest of the whiskey, and says, Look, just keep that on you. If you ever think that maybe, you're losing yourself, just don't give it to Jeff. Just keep it on you, and you can, use it. And he just kind of...
I say thanks. You really remind me of my older brother. It's kind of nice of you to offer.
Well, yeah, I mean, just like to make sure that, people are, better than me, because, you're a better person than me,
Oh, like Vincent was, and then there's, like, pain in her eyes, and then she kind of, like, gets sad again. Because, like, at first she smiles, but then she realizes Vincent's gone, and she's sad again. Anyway, yeah, we should go to bed.
You're a better person than I am, so just remember that much. Glare kind of just walks off with that. He looks obvious, like, extremely awkward.
She runs up behind him and gives him a hug from behind. And then she said, let's go to bed. And so we go.
As you all do that, Velen sort of walks behind you, and you sort of hear her whisper to herself. She says, she really does look a lot like her.
Oh.
She goes to her room.
Glaire's going to just kind of straighten at that and go, kind of like get a panicked look on his face.
Okay, so anything else you guys want to do before retiring for the evening?
No, that's all I got. I'm definitely going to make some adjustments to my armor.
What was that?
I want to write my journal.
Okay, go for it. What do you write?
Um. I just write. I just write. I'm tired. I'm just also tired of being really tired. I realized one day that I'm gonna get all the sleep that I want to get though, because my loved ones won't be here anymore, which makes me really sad. I think I need chocolate, and then I start eating chocolate.
Oh. Yeah, your old chocolate in your bag that you've kept from Waterdeep that you're like. Okay. Anyone else?
Not this time.
Okay. All right.
So I'm
Okay.
so I'm gonna kind of have a little bit of a restless sleep, thinking about what Velen said, and I'm gonna spend a little bit of the early night just sitting, looking at the window of whatever room I'm in, sipping on, the last of the whiskey that was in the gourd that I had.
So do we level up, by the way, or?
Yeah, but hold on.
Okay.
So, yeah, Jeff, as you look out into the night and sip that whiskey, eventually going into your trance for the night. As an elf, you trance.
Bloody elves.
Yes.
Surrounded by them.
Yes. Hold on a minute. So you slowly drift off into your trance, Jeff. And suddenly you find yourself back in the city of Waterdeep. It's winter, and the cobblestones comprising this all too familiar road are blanketed in a white, powdery snow. Your boots crunch into the ground as you walk. The streets are empty, completely devoid of their usual liveliness. It's cold. Before you, lying in a pool of crimson that threatens to tarnish the purity of the snow around it, is the lifeless body of Jallister Silvermane. A thin layer of frost covers a silver badge on his chest, a badge that signifies the rank of captain in the city watch. Memories suddenly begin flooding back to you. You remember when he came by the tavern on watch business. You remember the times at the yawning portal, shooting the shit about anything and everything. He spoke proudly of his duty to the city, of the loss of a former loved one, and of his hope of finding that love again someday. Despite all the awful things you've done in your life, some of them just to survive, he always believed in you, and he never lost faith in you. A few feet beside his corpse, another familiar man. A dark elf wearing a black eye patch sits quietly on his knees, arms bound behind his back, his mouth gagged and his head down, helpless. You look down at your hand, emblazoned upon the back of which appears a symbol of a six-pointed white snowflake. Your sword is shaking. What do?
Oh no. Oh my god, this is terrifying. So, I will say that I can feel anger rising up in me, and I clench the sword that's in my hand tightly. I'm staring at him, and I look back at Jallister, and I raise the sword up above my head, and I come down with this like huge swing right in front of me, and I have my eyes closed the whole time that I'm coming back down. And then when I open them back up, I drop the sword right between his legs, but just close enough to cut the eye patch off of his face and to leave a small cut on him. but I haven't killed him. I'm just staring at him. And then I look at him and I say, I will make sure that you always remember. And that's it.
The surroundings go white. And you see nothing, just white everywhere you see. You hear a voice that's a female voice say, "Compassion makes you vulnerable. Let cruelty be the knife that keeps your enemies at bay." And you wake up.
Ugh. I wake up shaking.
Okay.
I take the whiskey back out. I take a couple of shots. I'm just sitting there.
Okay.
I don't sleep the rest of the night after that.
You're all awake. 8 hours has passed. You get your full long rest finally. Congratulations.
Claire wakes up early to make sure he gets time to work on his armor.
Okay. So Claire, you're working on your armor. What do the rest of you do in the morning?
I just go downstairs and sit at the bar and have a breakfast by myself. I haven't really said anything to anybody in the morning yet. But I've been up for a while and was probably down there before anybody else.
Yes.
Eventually, sorry.
Go ahead.
Eventually, Relvin will make his way down to the common room, or wherever everyone is, to get some breakfast. He'll wave to Jeff.
I go down and see Claire polishing he's polishing his armor, or what is he doing?
Well, where would Claire be?
Claire would probably be in his room so he doesn't get disturbed while he's making the modifications he needs. I'm switching it back to Guardian, by the way, and I'm changing my infusions up if you'll let me for level 7.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
Do I find Claire?
Yeah, you would find him in his room. So yeah, you see that his door is shut, and you hear all the tinkering noises that you're so used to. He's like banging on shit, doing all that stuff in there.
I knock on the door in my usual self and say, "Hey, do you want some cookies?"
The banging stops and Claire comes to the door and just kind of opens it up. yeah, no, cookies would be great. What time is it?
What time is it?
Oh, it's really early in the morning. Let's say 8 a.m.
Yeah, I'm like, well, it's never too early for cookies. Oh, I look over at his gear that he's like, I guess, fixing or whatever. I was like, my father used to say, a gem cannot be polished without friction, nor man perfected without trials.
I mean, what do you call the last day if it wasn't some kind of a trial?
It's like a proverb, very. Like a monk proverb.
Sure.
Why are you laughing?
No, it's awesome. I love it. I want to give you inspiration for that.
Yeah, it's like a gem cannot be polished without friction, nor man perfected without trials. And I'm like, anyway, I was like, your pep talk yesterday made me feel a lot better, and I just wanted to let you know.
Claire looks a little bit shocked. Yeah, good. I mean, yeah, that's what I wanted. So yeah, good.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna go see if they want some cookies too, and I head downstairs.
I need to talk to Jeff about something, so I'll be down there too in a sec.
I nodded. Head downstairs.
Claire shuts his door.
Okay, you guys see in a much better mood, Xena sort of bouncing down the stairs with cookies. Relman and Jeff. You see Jeff sort of already drinking.
I'm literally sitting there brooding at the freaking table. Like, storm cloud hanging over my head. Like, I look like I'm already not having a good day.
I go up to Jeff. and I put my arm around him and say, "Be strong. Things will get better. It might be stormy now, but it can't rain forever." And I give him a cookie.
When she puts her arm around me, I actually jolt a little bit, and I like look at her, like I was like off of my own world, not even paying attention. And I'm like, oh yeah, thanks, Dina.
I give him a chocolate chip cookie.
Do you take it, Jeff?
Oh yeah.
You take the cookie?
I take it in my hand and then I put it on the table in front of me. I'm just kind of like staring at it.
And then I go up to Relvin, and I kind of like, I don't touch him because I don't really know him that well, but I go up to him and I wave and say, "You know, a family doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be united. Would you like a cookie?"
I would love a cookie.
I give him a
Thank you very
cookie.
much.
At this point, I guess Glare would come stumbling downstairs and kind of glance over at Jeff and see what he's doing.
Yeah, he's
Still staring at that cookie.
yeah.
Oh, hey Jeff, your armor's leather, right?
Yeah.
Toss it here for a sec.
God, I'll undo my breastplate and toss it to him.
You really need to upkeep this thing a little bit better, and Glare will kind of stomp back upstairs, back to his room, and shut the door.
I'm just like watching him go back up the stairs, a little bewildered, like what just happened?
Robin also has a curious look on his face.
You had studded leather armor, right?
Hold on. Let me
He
look.
has a breastplate, I think, right?
Yeah, it's a breastplate.
Yeah. Well then.
He throws it back downstairs. I can't do anything with this shit.
Don't tempt me. Glare would want to. No, he spent all the time polishing it and repairing it and enchanting it, so he's not going to throw it down the stairs.
Yeah.
A little while later, he'll come back downstairs and just kind of toss it back to you and say, "There, better." He won't even say anything about the infusion on it.
I'll just catch it and I'll look at it.
I cast Mend on it and just, like, polished it up and made sure it was in working order, too.
I'm just looking at it. I'm just kind of like, I mean, it looks really nice now, actually.
Better. I worked on it. And then Siglair's going to finally settle down and start eating something for breakfast.
Yeah, the tavern owner, whose name you've now learned is Rourke is his name, and he comes by and he puts you all a bowl of chowder for breakfast that he's made. And Velen will also come down, her snowy white owl perched atop her shoulder, and when you finally getting a good look at her after, she's no longer super bundled up in all that winter clothing for now, at least. She looks like this. I don't know if I already showed this to you guys, but she's like a woman in her 50s or so. She's got an eye patch and white hair, and she just walks with a sort of like dignified stance, as if she were a noble of some kind or something. And so she sits down and she sort of looks at all of you and she says, "Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone had a good night's rest."
Jeff doesn't say anything.
It was much needed.
Relman smiles and says, "Yes, I did."
Very well. Shall we continue our conversation?
Might as well.
Would you like a cookie?
Of course, I'd love a cookie, my dear. What type of cookie are these?
These are cinnamon cookies.
Cinnamon cookies. Very interesting. She'll take one if you offer it, and she'll try it, and she's like, this is very, very well done. You can't get baked goods like this up here normally. This is a welcome change. You really do look like her.
Glare will kind of shoot her a glare and see if you can silence her.
Like who?
You just remind me of a colleague back at the Brotherhood. Have you ever heard of Amina, Morrow?
Glaire's just gonna kind of just sigh and hit his head on the front of the table.
I just look like all of my happy energy is washed from my face, and I'm now like really upset now again. And I'm like, yes, I have. She's my sister.
Glaire's just grumbling to himself now.
She goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. It's just the resemblance is truly uncanny."
We are twins. We've been together, growing up together, and then she just stabs me in the back, quite literally, actually. Have you seen her recently?
Well, that's no surprise to me, my dear. She's very paranoid these days. Of course, yes, I do know her. She's I haven't seen her though in quite some time, but
How long?
since I first arrived here
When was that?
roughly 2 months ago. We arrived here together, actually. You see, she is one of the members of the Arcane Brotherhood, and while the name itself leads you to believe that we are allies, members who work together, it actually couldn't be farther from the truth. Everyone in the Arcane Brotherhood is out to get power in their own way, and as long as they stay out of each other's way, then all is fair. But we're more like rivals than friends.
Well, I assure you,
say
you
that
don't want to
again.
cross that one, because she's liable to send a lightning bolt in your head.
Huh. Very true.
She's
He
only tried to
forgot.
kill us a few times.
She's forgotten who she is. I need to speak with her. Do you know where I can find her?
I don't know much, but what I do know is that she's here for the same reason I am. To find this
Oh.
ancient city of Nethril.
Oh, great. I cannot think of a person I would want to get that even less.
She's my sister, Claire.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. But, counterpoint. Lightning bolts, head.
She did try to summon a demon and kill us.
At that point, Relman's eyes widen a bit.
She says, "It's not easy to get into the Arcane Brotherhood, you know. Wizards every year flock from all around the world just to apply, and almost all of them are dismissed immediately."
Yeah, well, I've never wanted to go myself, so I've never tried.
You know, your sister, ever since she first joined, she was brilliant. She's probably one of the most, I loathe to admit it, but she's probably one of the most talented abjurers I've ever met. But there's something driving her, something more than the usual lust for power that all us wizards have. We all seek to learn the mysteries of arcane, to learn of the secrets in the world. That's commonplace among all wizards, but she has a drive to her that I haven't witnessed often.
Sam, what did she say? Anything about back home? About me? About my father, mother, brothers? Anything?
She kept her personal life close, but what I do know is that she became interested in a type of magic known as chronergy. Have you heard of it?
No. Do I look like someone that knows about magic, I look over at Jeff and I'm like,
You guys can
You?
make Arcana checks. If you're trained in Arcana, you can make Arcana.
I am trained in Arcana.
I am not.
Glare. So Jeff, you've never really heard of this type of magic before, but Glare,
Time magic.
time magic, yes, the ability to manipulate time. So for some reason, Xena was interested in manipulating
Mina.
time. Or sorry, Mina. Bleh. Mina was interested in manipulating time.
That's a dangerous and theoretical field to be studying.
you
Oh?
say it out loud?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Wait, you say what it was?
It's a study of time,
What
and
on
ways to
earth is-
influence it using arcane energies.
Oh my god. What on earth has she gotten herself into?
Wait, you mean to like roll back, like to go back in time?
Potentially. It's not exactly something that is easy to do or very commonly done, as you may imagine.
Unless you have a lot of ancient weapons and artifacts that could possibly give you the power to do so.
Yeah, that's one of the few ways I can think of to do it.
I can't possibly think of a reason that Mina would want to do that. I say that as sarcastically as I possibly can, and then go back to my alcohol.
I glare at Jeff. I look at Velen, is that her name? Velen?
Yes.
I look at Velen and I'm like, well, if you're all part of the same brotherhood, then you must have a means to contact others within your same faction, yes?
She lets out a bit of a sigh and she says, the wizards of the Arcane Brotherhood typically pursue their own interests, and so long as the security of the Brotherhood and the tower where it resides is safe, we pretty much act independently from one another. In fact, it's more like an unfriendly rivalry, if you would. We try to outdo one another in magic in general, and while open conflict between members is forbidden, there are a lot of times when members have been known to find underhanded ways to either sabotage or handicap the other members' efforts, if you would.
I don't suppose that has anything to do with that fancy orb you were saying you were missing.
Very astute of you. Yes. My orb was a family heirloom, stolen from me by a former colleague named Nas Lantomir. The orb itself has a personality inside of it. It's sentient. I'd call him Professor Scant. It's very knowledgeable about a great deal of things, and its knowledge will help us if we ever descend into Ythrin.
What do you mean it has its own personality?
It's, Go ahead.
Some powerful artifacts can even be sentient. Do you remember the axe that I wielded for a while there in Waterdeep?
Yes.
It had a personality all to itself, and it was quite willing to tell me how bad I was at doing my job.
Jeff looks down at his sword whenever Glare is talking about that.
Yes, he is correct. It's it has its own personality, and Professor Scant knows all sorts of information, specifically about the city of Netheril and a few other things. He has a great deal of knowledge about vampires, if you're interested, about that.
Well, look, if I help you, will you help me find my sister?
I can certainly try. Yes.
Well, you're the only person I know that might be able to get a hold of her.
I say that's an appropriate enough deal. However, she may not like that you're working with me, but if we do happen to run into her, we don't have to tell her that.
Fine with me, as long as I get to talk to her. I just want to understand why she's doing all this.
Indeed.
So I'm on board, helping you find this whatever magical thingamabob or whatever you crazy magic people do.
Speaking of crazy things crazy people do, if you'll excuse me, I don't think I'm needed here anymore.
I will. After she says that, I'll look up. I say, did the crazy shadow assassin just call us crazy magic users?
Excuse me. Manipulating shadows is not magical. At least in her head, she believes that, even if she's in denial or whatever.
So at this point, Jeff is like, he's definitely drank a little too much this morning already. And
Elvin's
he just kind of like is just looking at her, just like narrow-eyed, and just thinks about saying something, and then just decides not to.
We do have one problem, she'll say before you leave, Claire.
Oh, great. What is it?
So, remember that glacier I told you about that we need to get through, but we need magic to be able to do so?
Yeah.
Well, the artifact we're looking for is a book known as the Codicil of White. The problem is that the book itself was written and guarded by Auril's followers. Now, it itself is rumored to contain a spell or a ritual of some kind that can carve a passageway through the glacier, under which the city is buried. We know that the book is being held, via the divination magic from the Arcane Brotherhood, that it is being held in a frost giant fortress on a mist-shrouded island in the sea of moving ice.
Right?
Better
You
and
know
better.
what? I've always wanted to meet giants. You know why? Because I'll tell you why. Whenever I was going to school back in my days, way early on in the forest, I always wanted to meet a giant. Don't know why, just always wanted to. And you know what? I'm actually really proficient in speaking giant because I studied the shit out of it. Always wanted to meet one. So now I get my chance. Now maybe I can talk to them. Maybe they'll just hand it over, actually.
Blair just kind of walks out while she's
I actually do. I know the language giant, so I had to think of a reason why I would know that. Because, like, why would I know that? But I do have that language.
I think we randomly picked it. We're like, why do we know?
We did randomly pick it. That's why I just made that up.
Yeah.
So now I get to fulfill my dream of meeting a giant.
Oh, well, that's a very peculiar dream,
You know,
but sure, why
everyone
not?
made fun of me. You know, Mina, my brothers, they always made fun of me for wanting to learn giant. But, like, you know, now it actually comes in handy. And now they aren't even here to make fun of me.
A lot of bellows in that language.
Yeah, you know, it's very guttural, I must say.
Yes.
Very.
All right, well, so our first task then is to ask around, try to see what we can learn, rumors and whatnot, about anything that may help us find a way to that island. A passage, if you will. Or perhaps some other way of dealing with this weather situation. Will you help me?
Well, you already know my deal, so I will help you.
Thank you, my dear.
Blair's
So-
already left at this point.
Okay.
Yeah,
Where is
Jeff,
he?
like, is standing up.
Oh, he's going to the Shardland Dragon.
Oh, okay, okay.
So Jeff is like standing up, he's slightly woozy because he's drank too much this morning, and he's just like, Oriole, huh? And then he's like, sure, I'm along for the ride too.
Excellent. Very well. All right, well, let's meet back up here tonight and see what we can learn on the town. Perhaps there are some things we can explore later. And she will get up and sort of get her, put up her hood before she goes outside, and she will leave to try to learn what she can among the denizens of the city. In the meantime, Glare, you're on your way to the dragon.
You cut out.
Hold on, let me rejoin because it's awful. All right, so Glare, you're on your way to the dragon. You said?
Yeah.
Okay. So you make your way to the dragon, and you see that people are sort of not crowding around it, but it's almost like an attraction, at this point. Like, people are all like, ooh, like they're keeping like not really a safe distance from it. What do you do when you see it there and there's a few people around it, not like right up on it, but like semi around it? What are you trying to do with the dragon?
Glaire's gonna try to examine it and see if he can figure out how it was made, and see if he can get the parts of the Chardolin off, so he can start actually studying the raw material finally.
Okay, yeah. Make a just make a quick whatever the better check is for you, whether it's tinkering or arcana.
It would definitely be tinkering, because I think it's a +10 for me.
Okay, so yeah, make a tinkering check then to see.
Because our proficiency at level 7 is still 3, so it's 6. Yep, +10. So a D12, 20 plus 10.
Yes. Holy shit.
Damn.
Okay. Oh, man. Okay. All right. So you are examining the dragon and the corpse of it, and you're sort of looking at all the different Chardolin pieces, and you're poking at some of it, and you're using your tools and everything, and you're studying it as quickly as you can, and you learn something off the bat. And now that you're up close and personal with a lot of this stuff, especially the one that is comprising this dragon, you learn that like sort of a chill goes down your spine, and you realize that this thing is, for lack of a better term, but for the purposes of this, it's radioactive.
Oh!
And
as soon as I realize that, Glaire's gonna kind of growl and yell at everyone, "Get away from this thing, it's still not safe!"
Make an intimidation check or persuasion,
that'll
whatever's
probably be
whatever's better.
intimidation. Glare is not persuasive.
Yeah. I was thinking that, yeah.
My intimidation's still a negative. It doesn't matter either way.
Well, make a strength intimidate. Make it okay, F. What's your strength modifier?
My strength modifier is a +3.
Okay, so that would is it more than a 10 then total? DC is a 10.
A +3 rather than a -1.
Yeah. So it's enough. Yeah. It's not a high check because they're already kind of weary of it. So yeah, so they, as soon as you shout that out, they all begin to back off. They because it's a strength intimidation, because you're like big. It's not based off charisma. So
I'm gonna start seeing if I can actually like back people off to a certain perimeter. Would I know how safe it is?
Yeah, with that roll, yeah, you would know they need to stay back about 15 feet or so from the Chardolin.
Okay, so I'm gonna get everyone back that far and kinda. I don't know. Is there any kind of city guards still around that I can kinda confer with?
Yeah. There's a guardsman, and you'll let him know what's going on, and he will sort of get a perimeter set up for you as you keep taking a look at it. So that's the immediate thing that you notice.
Is it the raw material itself that seems to be almost radioactive, or
no?
Is it something about the dragon that is?
No, it's not the raw material. So as you inspect it more, and you're like looking at your hammer, you're looking at Fragrac, you're comparing it with the stuff that the dragon's made of, you'll notice that the Chardolin that the dragon is made of is black, like really dark colored, and it's almost like it has absorbed some sort of malevolence into it, and then that's what made it evil. It isn't the Chardolin itself that's evil. It just lends itself to absorbing different types of energy, either malevolent, positive, or negative, and it has taken a whole lot of malevolent energy and sort of just stored it up, and now it's like radiating it. You think that if people were to get too close to this thing for, you know, a semi-extended period of time, they would probably like the same type of effect that happened to Jeff and Relbin, you think might happen, where they sort of
Get charmed by
get
it.
charmed and start doing bad stuff.
I don't suppose I would be able to disable that in any way or like remove the enchantment.
You can certainly try. You can certainly break off chunks of it and see if you can.
I'll definitely break out chunks and see if I can experiment with it and see if I can restore it to its original state, or if the magic it's like kind of if it's permanently altered by the magic.
Yeah, you do think you should put it away somewhere where it like won't radiate though.
Well, I have my insulated bag with my thermal cube.
Okay. Yeah, don't you have a haversack though?
I do have a haversack. Does that count? I'll take that too.
That would work because that's creating like an interdimensional space, which you would.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Haversack.
Yeah. So you put it in the haversack where it can't really hurt anyone. A few pieces for studying later. And yeah, cool. Good job.
So I don't think I can disenchant it though. So for now, I just kind of have to.
For now, you're not sure. You're not
Yeah.
sure whether you can or not. You'd have to
I'll just-
study it more.
Yep. All right. So I'll just let the guard know that I don't like just keep people away from it. It could alter their minds in ways that are negative. And I guess I'll, with
while
my
he's
samples,
doing that-
get back to where the group was.
Okay.
Well, before he gets back,
Yeah.
before he gets there, while he's doing that, I want to, well, first help Jeff walk up the stairs to his room because he's drunk, right?
I'm a little buzzed, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying to help him back to his room, to like lay down. And once we get back to his room, I say like, "Are you okay? I mean, you've always drink some, but never like this, or at least this, or at least it doesn't seem like it."
I'm just gonna, like, so, because of the things that have been happening to Xena, because of the abilities that she has and everything now, I'm going to feel a little bit more comfortable opening up to her because I feel like she's gone through some of the same shit recently that I have. So I kind of like
losing
just,
people and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, so I kind of like kick back in my chair in front of my window and, I mean, I basically kind of open up to her and tell her that, this Ariel that, this woman talked about and everything, that I'm pretty positive that she is the Frost Queen, Frost Maiden patron that has bestowed my powers upon me, and that I do not think that she's a kind individual, and I think she's a prison that's, you know, this entire place is engulfed in ice. And I tell her about the dream that I had with Jalister and, you know, my old employer. And, you know, I just tell her that I'm actually, you know, low-key scared. I'm afraid that this, you know, chick is going to make me do something that I don't want to do. And that this stuff's, you know, becoming stronger and stronger the closer we get to it, but that I can't stop. I have to do this. I have to go through with it. And it's terrifying at the same time. And I mean, obviously, you know, I've got alcohol on board, and I'm smoking my pipe, and I'm just, you know, all that together just makes me just like word vomit to her.
I'm kind of in shock when he's telling me this because he's never opened up to me like this before, but there's almost a sense of relief, and you see my shoulders slump where I feel almost like a burden has been taken off, like a weight has been taken off, and I'm like, I guess I thought I had it bad. You know, everyone's gone through something and it's changed them in a way. I feel like that they could never go back to the person they once were, myself included. There's something changing in me too. I felt like I was the only one, you know. I miss me, the old me, the happy me, the bright one I tried this morning, and then that lady, she brought up my sister again, and it's just gone. It's just gone. and I understand how you feel. I mean, clearly I don't have some psycho god chasing me or whatever the fuck that is, but I mean, you know, it's just like, it feels like such a relief to talk to someone who understands what it feels like. And I remember when I first met you, you were someone who never had a path, never cared for any sort of purpose to follow. And I used to hate you for it, but now I'm starting to understand what it's like to feel lost. Really, really lost.
So when she says that, I look at her and I say, you know, Xena, sometimes it's just about putting one foot in front of the other and not about trying to follow something.
Well, I'm glad that we had this talk. It makes me feel less alone.
Yeah.
I'll keep your secret if you keep mine. And then, like, I just tell him about how I did actually like, you know, hurting those people, even though I didn't tell Blair that. Like, I did actually like hurting them, and that there was a part of me that felt like I could release the pain of losing Vincent, of finding out my sister is evil, of finding out that Vince had betrayed us, our very own friend, of leaving home, having all these questions about my family, and just feeling like that she doesn't really know who to trust, and that out of everybody, it's so weird to finally reveal these feelings to the person that she never expected, to Jeff, and that she appreciates the honesty and hopes that we can keep this from Glare, because we don't want to bring down his spirit too, because he deserves better than to, you know, in this really tough time.
Yeah.
He's
So,
like our shining star.
I'll nod my head and say, yeah, I think I would agree. He's the poster child for our group, isn't he?
We're in
Well,
trouble.
I say we should have talks like this more often, you know.
I'd be
tell-
okay with that.
And then, like, after that, then, you know, Glare comes back. Right.
I don't know. That depends on what Relvin's doing, because I'm probably gone for a while I do this.
Oh, I thought you said you had it back. Okay.
I do head back, but yeah, it's like, you know, time. The way
Relvin's,
time works.
For like an hour or so at least.
Yeah.
Relvin's not really, is just gonna continue to eat breakfast and just, I suppose after that, just check around, see if anyone needs any, you know, their wounds tended to after the attack.
Okay. Yeah. As you're out and about, Relbin, can you make a perception check for me?
Oh boy, can I?
Yeah. You're
Quality
fine.
roll.
Yeah. So yeah, you continue. You just continue looking around, and you do find some people who need help. Are you just sort of assisting with like their wounds and stuff like that?
Yeah, assisting with wounds. Not magical.
Yeah. So you find a woman who's injured, and you just sort of help begin patching her and her family up. But you don't see or notice anything out of the ordinary as you're making your way about.
Okay.
Okay. So you guys are now able to do whatever you want. So Velen is out looking for clues on perhaps finding any way to get to that island. And so would you, if you all do want to help with that effort, how would you all go about trying to scour the city for clues in particular?
I actually think Glare is way more interested in the Shardlin, so he's probably going to spend his time
Okay.
studying that.
Sure.
And at this point, Jeff gives zero shits about that book and wants to find out anything he can, like if there's any kind of like a library or anything, storyteller or something that he can find out more about this Ariel deity, now that he actually has a name to put to it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you're just gonna ask around about Auril? Okay, let's see what they know.
Here's a question. Do you ask
Go look
Relvin?
for potions.
How about let's say that like I'm, you know, once I sober up a little bit and everything, I'm gonna tell them that, you know, if Glaire's back, he's probably in his room, shut the door and everything, and we're just gonna
Yeah.
slam on shit. But Xena and Oriel, or Xena and Relvin, I'll tell them that I'm going to head out and look up some more information about this Oriel character if I can.
Would I be able to give him some information?
Yeah, you would. So, okay, so most of the... Alright, so what you know of Auril in general is that she is the younger sister of Titania, who is your god. And she is a Fae Queen. And as far as you know, she wants to make this entire place frozen for all of eternity. Now, why? Nobody knows. No one can even comprehend why she would want to do this or what her purposes are. All you know is that, Jeff, make a persuasion check as well as you're going around the town. And Relbin is sort of telling you this as, you two are going around the area. But make a persuasion check to see if you can find...
Damn it, man.
F. Yeah, you're unable to learn. Like you're asking people about her, but they seem to mostly going back to the legends. They feel like she is the one who is dooming everyone, and that it's because they did something wrong that she is doing this to them, and they're not sure why, and they all just seem very afraid of her. Like they don't know why she's doing this, but it must be something that they did wrong to bring such a wrath down upon them. So they're all very superstitious, very afraid of her, but they don't know how or why she's doing this. And Relbin, you would think that based upon what you know of her, she actually, Relbin, I'm going to ask you to make a history check, or history or religion or whatever, but I'm going to say you have advantage on this to see if you can get anything more.
I'll do religion. That seems to make more sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll say you have advantage just to see.
Yeah.
Okay. You heard that a long, long time ago, like really long time ago, Auril the Frost Maiden was part of a alliance of other gods. And you don't know the exact details with that role, but you do know that they were all working together until all the three other ones she was working with, for some reason, turned on her and sort of struck her down and hurt her badly. And then it was around that same time that the gods seemingly left the world. Like, gods used to be all over the place and visible to most of the people in the world. But something happened back then that made the gods leave. They all just sort of were like, fuck this shit, I'm out, and these mortals can deal with it themselves. They still have followers and stuff in the prime material plane, but they sort of just got out, and that's why you don't see a lot of them. However, for whatever reason, she has come back. And she's alone. And she's just here in this place alone, doing what she's doing. And she's completely isolated from the other gods. That's all you know.
I share that with Jeff.
Now the question is, why did she come back? Other
That
than
isn't-
just mass destruction.
That is an excellent question, one I hope to find the answer to.
Maybe we do have something in common, Relvin.
All right.
Quite right.
As you make your way around, guys, both of you make perception checks. And Xena, what are you doing during this time, Xena?
Like, they're just walking around town, right?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Holy hell!
Okay.
That's a -1 too. Nice roll.
There are no magic shops, unfortunately, in this city.
Are there shops of any kind here, like that sell anything at all besides food?
They sell very basic adventuring gear, basically anything under the adventuring gear systems. Like they got pickaxes, shovels.
I will say that you probably are well aware that with the right materials, Glare can actually do alchemy.
Oh. Well, can I stealth around the town in like, my cloak and like eavesdrop upon villagers in different areas, kind of like what the NPC was doing to get information?
Yeah, so
in
the
my
way
cloak?
yeah, exactly. So for the purposes of this, I'll say make a stealth roll with advantage because of your cloak to see how well you can stealth. And then if you roll high enough, which you did, go ahead and make a perception check with advantage because you're like super stealth now. Okay, wow.
Well.
Holy shit. All right. And okay, so the three of you are out and about, and you're just sort of looking
In
for
the shadows.
yes, lurking in the shadows.
I'm lurking
Um,
with my shadow steps. Like I'm like Ruby in her cloak, but instead of red, it's like black, and it's just like
That's a
flying
cool
up
cloak.
and stuff.
you hear one person mention something that seems a little interesting. They say that you think would be interesting, maybe to Glare, Xena, as you're overhearing this. But they say there's this old black cabin that's been around forever. No one knows who built it, and lots of folks got a bad feeling about it. Some say it's haunted. But there's a gnome in Bryn Shander who claims that magical experiments are being performed there. The gnome's name is Copper, and you'll find him at the house of the Morning Lord. So you learn that.
Okay.
Jeff and Relbin, you overhear someone say this. I keep telling everyone the everlasting rhyme isn't the Frost Maiden's doing. It's actually the Arcane Brotherhood plotting another takeover of 10 towns. A wizard who was burned at the stake in East Haven admitted to being one of them, and he said there are other Arcane Brotherhood wizards lurking among us. Vaelish Gant is behind it all, no doubt. The scoundrel is locked away in Revel's End, but that doesn't make him any less dangerous. Someone should find out what he knows.
Sorry, it was what was the name again?
The person's name was Vaelish Gaunt. I'll post that in the...
Okay.
And they said he's at a place called Vaelish Gaunt at a place called Revel's End. Yeah, that's what you learn so far.
Well, I keep looking.
Okay. Make another perception check with advantage. What are you doing, Relbin? You said?
I was gonna approach them and ask them why they think it is.
Oh, he says, well, it's just, I'm telling you, like, this has happened before and it's gonna happen again. Why would the Frost Maiden even do this to us?
I'm gonna insight that.
Yeah, make an insight check. He's difficult to read. He seems very passionate, at least.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
It might be something worth checking out, I say to Jeff.
I agree.
Alright. Xena, the last thing you learn is you overhear a dwarf talking. He says, "Ye head northwest out of Bremen. and you'll see a pirate ship frozen in the ice less than a quarter mile from shore. No one's sure where it even came from, but it's not going anywhere so long as this dark winter lasts. I bet its hold is full of treasure, though. And I'll post what he said there.
Good.
Okay. What do you all do?
Well, I also want to, let's see. I also want to go back to my notes to figure out where that guy lived that we got the axe from the fortress from to return it to him.
Yes. He lived at a place called Wormhood Crag. And let me just...
Wormhood Crag.
Yeah, let me just pull that up. Yes. And so... Sorry, Worm Doom Crag. Sorry, I thought it was called Wormhood Crag. But... It's allegedly, according to that dude, a Goliath village of some sort, and so that would, let's pull up the map here. I'm just gonna move you all to the map.
Oh, what was his? Let's see, his name. I think he gave us.
Yes, his name.
Better write down.
Don't worry,
I wrote it. It's Kapanook, Tall Tree, Thunlaka.
Uncle,
Yes.
a whole bunch of vowels,
Walla
and letters.
Bang.
Walla Walla Bing Bang. Yes.
Thunlaka Gaga.
Yeah. So. Okay, so you all are okay. Let me just clear this so you can see where we are here. Okay, so you guys are currently at Caradonval.
This is the guy that we met, that we freed, right? And he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh,
Yeah.
come on down to my house and everything." And
Yeah.
I'll have a
Yeah.
feast for you. Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
brought his axe back.
Yeah.
Well, we still have the axe.
Do you see where I circled on the map?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you go this way and keep going
Is
this
he
way.
nearby?
No. Keep
Oh.
going this way and keep going this way. He's up in these mountains. So all the way over here is where he's from.
Yeah.
So you guys are gonna probably, if you want to follow up on any of these things, the black cabin they were talking about is like up here, and that one northwest of Bremen would be like around this way, Xena. Somewhere northwest of.
Sorry,
that.
where's the cabin?
I circled it. Do you see it?
Oh, way over there. Jesus.
I'm
Oh
putting-
no, just on the bottom part. You mean right here?
No, that's where you guys are. I've
Oh.
circled it. And put
Oh, it's
lines.
right there. Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry, I thought that's where we were.
that's probably the closest one. And then let's see, what was the other clue I gave you?
Ravel's End.
Revel's End.
Valish Gaunt.
Belchcon.
Yeah, that one is.
Didn't she say that the island was out in the Sea of Ice? Isn't that like northwest?
Yes, but you need a way to. Basically, you all need a way to get there. So you're searching for how to get there across the Sea of Ice.
Well, if we all reconvene, I say.
Oh, there's
we
Revel's
should-
End, by the way.
We should check out the
Finally found it.
Black House and then that moored boat first, just since they're the closest things. It probably would not take us too much time overall.
Yeah, the black cabin is the closest, and then from there it's about Revel's End, and the other place is about equal distance, and then the giant place is the farthest, and it's in the opposite direction.
So we could go to the black cabin if it's the closest.
we might want to talk to that gnome you mentioned if that's the case first, see what he knows about it. Because I don't know what they were experimenting with, but if they're experimenting with the Chardolin, it definitely would benefit us to know more about that stuff.
Definitely possible, and it is on the way to seeing Valish Gaunt.
Speaking of which, he's part of an order. Is he part of your order there, Valina?
Oh, she's not back yet, but she can be. So yeah, you'll ask her when she gets back.
Yeah.
And
Sorry.
she'll say, yes, he is. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, you say?
Yes.
You look like you have a lot of people that are assholes in your group.
No
offense.
No, none. Absolutely none taken, my dear. Yes, he is. He's not the best, for sure. 1 second, I'll give you details about him. She'll say, hold on. Let me pull it up. Yeah, so his name was Valish Gaunt. Hold on. Sorry, 1 sec. Trying to find it. I'll just pull up his actual character. What the hell? Oh, hold on 1 sec, guys.
Banana phone, banana phone.
Ring, 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 banana phone. I've got my hunches. It grows in bunches. It's the best. Beats the rest. I can't remember this next line.
I
Darn.
mean, you remembered more than I did.
Yeah.
Sorry. She'll just. Oh man, it doesn't really. I know it's in here somewhere. I read it before, but she'll just say for now. He committed a crime against. Oh wait. Oh yeah. He'll say he committed a crime that landed him in a prison here in Icewind Dale. He was pompous, conniving, and he never doubted that he was the smartest person in the room. And he makes sure that everyone around him knows how he feels. He's fairly dangerous, but if we did go to where he was being held, he may know something about the task that we are here to do. He may even know something about your sister.
It's worth a shot.
Seems like the strongest lead we've got right now.
No.
Okay. So do you guys want to learn about the Black Cabin first and then make your way up to Revel's End, or how do you want to do this?
Yeah, we'll probably need supplies as well before we leave, won't we?
Yeah.
There is no supplies. I checked multiple times. They literally.
We still need food and other supplies like that.
You could go to Bryn Shander, which is not too far away, and there is a magical shop there, though they mostly just sell magic potions, and they have a few spell scrolls. I think, Jeff, you put an order in for Scorching Ray, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so it would probably be ready by now if you went to go pick it up.
Ready in 24 hours or your money back.
We still have to return the dogs too.
Yes.
Wait, I thought that we owned them.
You do
now.
own them. Sorry, never mind.
Oh, we do own them?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
thought we
I
rented.
like paid a lot for them.
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason I thought we rented them.
Hmm.
Well, so how do we want to do it? Black House first, then to the town, or what?
We should probably ask this gnome what he knows first, if he knows anything about what experiments they were doing. See if it's even
that's right.
worthwhile.
Where's Prince Shander in relation to the Black Cabin?
So Bryn Shander is right over here.
Okay.
It's not too far away.
Kind of the opposite direction still, but we might want to get those scrolls.
Yeah, scrolls, potions.
Okay.
Actually, do I have proficiency in herbalism kits? I do. Would that allow me to make potions?
I mean, I'm an alchemist. Well, I have training with alchemy tools, I should say. I'm not really an alchemist, I'm a blacksmith.
Hmm.
So Blair can make our potions.
I can make lower level ones at basically the cost for the materials.
I'm not sure if I can. I forgot what the ruling about herbalism kits are.
Also, just FYI, I'm gonna have to call it here pretty soon, guys.
Okay.
Paid and fast.
It's almost 10:30, and I gotta take the dogs out still too. So.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, do you guys want to wrap up that town stuff and then we'll call it a night?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Eh,
Okay.
or we could do it before. Either or works for me.
Okay. Well, we can expedite it a bit. So we'll say that there's no trouble. It's mostly just roads going back to Bryn Shander. So you make your way back there. It was the first city that you all started in. You visit the potion shop. How many did you guys want to? How many potions did you want to get roughly?
I mean, I went through like
Okay.
6 in the time we were in that dungeon, so...
What kind are they?
They're just potions of healing, normal potions of healing.
We should
And-
probably sell a lot of the stuff we got. If we
Yeah,
can.
if we can. Hey, Jeff.
Would you like for me to roll a what the hell was it? Yeah.
I'm just saying, you're probably the best
Persuasion.
at bartering out of all of us.
Persuasion check.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and make a persuasion check. I'll say with that roll, you're able to find buyers for 2 of the items you have. So you can sell the male drow mask and the silver chalice. So you all have about 1,000 gold from that. But you don't find buyers to get the other stuff.
So 250 apiece.
Yeah, 250 gold apiece.
Gee,
Yay,
I
not
wonder
broken
who's going to
anymore.
buy some healing potions.
Oh, Perry,
They're 50
Would I
gold.
be able to-
per-
would I be able to craft them?
Healing potions? No, I don't think so.
Not even the herbalism kit.
No, not healing potions. It's more of a arcana.
Alchemists.
Alchemists, you can make like alchemist fire or stuff like that. We can take that part offline, Glare, if you want to
Yeah.
do it with Glare. Let's look
I
up a
probably would like to take some time to do that later, but we'll worry about that later, yeah.
roll. Yeah.
I'll give you my shopping list.
How
And
much are the potions of healing?
50 gold apiece.
Want to clean her out?
I'll say they have like 8 of them in stock.
Claire will happily pay for some.
Because they
I'll
can
buy
can have infinite.
3.
3? Okay, so mark off 150 gold.
I'll buy
Okay.
whatever's left.
Okay, you have 5 healing potions. So
I
mark.
Well,
I've got 2 still, so I'm gonna let it lie.
I think Claire said he was going to buy some too.
Well, that's all of them. So you all have eight healing potions now.
I give them to Glare.
Okay. All 8 of them, or just your 3?
My 3.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah, that probably makes the most sense.
All right.
So about 3, so it gives me 100 gold left from that.
God, I was guzzling those like Jeff guzzles ale the freaking last couple of
Yep.
encounters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you, Jeff, did you want to get that scroll, or are you good on the scroll?
Yeah. I mean, I already paid for it, so I'll pick it up too.
Yeah. So you have a scroll of Scorching Ray.
Why does it say add to backpack, add to equipment? What's the difference? Add to...
I think equipment means it's readily available. Backpack means you'd need to get it out.
Yeah. Like it would take your action to pull it out of your bag. But you can carry. Don't worry about that stuff. I really don't.
We like have like belts and satchels
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
I don't really.
Oh, I think we had this problem last time, Perry. I don't think Scorching Ray is showing up as a scroll. Yeah.
Okay, I'll make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool.
Okay.
I'll make it. All right. As for the gnome, you do ask around and you find him staying at the house of the Morning Lord. Lathander is the god's name, so it's like a temple or like a church. When you ask him about the Black Cabin, he tells you that he has a friend who's trying to build a device that can end the everlasting rime and return summer to Icewind Dale, and that he is asking that if you are going there, just make sure that he's all right, and he'll ask you if you're wanting to go there, and he can't really offer a reward, but if you do return, like, you will gain good favor in the house of Lathander, and if you ever need healing, you can always come here and they won't charge or anything.
We definitely need allies up in this place, apparently. We're going to be here for a while.
So basically you'll have access to a priest for healing, potentially for free.
Nice.
I'll thank him in Gnomish.
Awesome.
You know Gnomish? Damn.
Yep.
Thanks. So yeah, that's what he's working on. And that's where we'll stop for tonight. Yay.
We did it.
There were a few times where I thought my life flashed before my eyes.
Perry, don't you think that I didn't recognize the music that you played during that little song?
Oh yeah.
Really? It sounded
Yeah.
familiar.
It was the fucking Lich King music whenever Arthas' father's talking to him, and the cutscene there, right there at the beginning of the campaign.
Oh yeah. Did you?
It's the CGI cutscene music.
Yeah, it is. It's
And he fucking like summons the damn skeletal dragon out of the ice and everything. Oh yeah, that was a badass scene.
Yeah. Did you like that part?
Oh yeah, that was fucking cool. Like you were talking, I thought it was gonna be one of them, but you pulled Jallister into it. I'm like, oh fuck. And but I mean, it's like super important to Jeff because it's like it was a turning point because, you know, he saw Jallister get hurt with, you know, helping him get out of the situation he was in. So it's an important spot.
Yes.
You pull it on his heartstrings, Perry.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say that Glaire's curiosity about the Shardlin is very, very much now in full effect.
That's awesome. But yeah, we'll talk about this more. Thanks everyone for watching the stream. And I will end the stream, and that's it. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.